Czechast, a podcast in English about Czech and Moravian society, history, culture and economy.
Welcome to another episode of Czechast, a podcast in English where we explore all things Czech. I'm your host, Vít Pohanka, and today we have a fascinating conversation with Jan Bezděk. I think he must be one of the smartest Czech people I've ever met. He is a successful IT business owner who made an unexpected leap into farming.
I was in the office doing business, making money, and there was no time to live my life. And today I'm looking forward for the snow because I need to rest a little bit. I'm really tired. You don't see it, but I'm really tired.
But happy.
Absolutely happy.
So in this episode, you'll hear about Jan's journey from owning a digital agency to raising cows and producing hay, the challenges and rewards of running a farm, and his vision for transforming agriculture with technology, including several drones that he uses every day.
We are farmers, we are improvising every day. And improvising also means that you need to learn from your mistakes. I have a picture of all my fields from almost every day, but definitely every week. So I know the operations I did on the fields. I have the records, and then after the season, during the winter, I can check, learn from my mistakes and do it better next season.
Whether you're interested in business, unexpected life solutions, or innovative farming, this episode is packed with insights you don't want to miss.
Czechast, a podcast in English about all things Czech. Whether you're an English-speaking expat living in Czechia and Slovakia, or a descendant of the Czechs, Moravians and Slovaks who left for a better life in America, Australia, Britain or Canada so long ago that you don't speak the language of the old country, this podcast in English is for you.
My name is Jan Bezděk, and I was born in Prague. I have I would say, digital agency. We are doing mostly websites for big companies like Airbank, Eon, and so on. So I have a team of 65 people in Prague.
So you are basically an owner of an IT company?
Yeah, I would say so. We have 100 million revenue. I think the target is 94 million this year, and we will do a little bit more, I hope.
But right now we are sitting here, not far from Prague. How far are we from Prague?
I would say 54 kilometers.
So we are sitting in front of this, I would say, beautiful cottage, whitish. How did you get here as a guy from Prague?
It was a story. I was on a business trip to Brno, and because I like motorcycles, I left my car in the office and went on motorcycle. And because riding motorcycle on a highway is not fun, I actually thought maybe I would make a trip a little bit to countryside just to relax a little bit before a difficult meeting in Brno. And at Benešov, I left the highway and went here. I saw this cottage, and I approached the owner because I like it very much. And I approached the owner and asked whether she's going to sell it. And she told me that she will probably have a divorce, and it's gonna be for sale. So, 1 week after, we bought it.
What did your wife say? Because you were married already, right?
Yeah. Oh, well.
And your wife is from Prague, and you decided to buy this cottage.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, she was like shocked a little bit, but I'm quite a wild guy, so she's shocked most of the time. And
she didn't divorce you, obviously.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. And so I convinced her that this is a great idea.
And you started farming here, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't such a straight way, because originally I wanted to build a motocross track here for my son, so we can ride a motorcycle. But honestly, I never finished the track because I started farming. It was a nice story because I don't like cutting grass. When I was a small child, my grandmother, babička.
Yes.
Yes. My grandmother forced me to cut grass on
mow the lawns. Yeah.
Yeah, mow the lawns. Yeah, I hate it.
And you hated it?
Yeah, because whole holidays I was like grass maintainer. I hate it. So I had a wonderful idea. I could buy a sheeps, and they will do it for me for free. So I bought the sheeps. They didn't do it for me. They eat everything else than the grass.
So that was a bit of a disappointment, if I understand correctly.
Well, yeah, I was very angry. But then I found another animal, a cow. Cow eats much more grass than a sheep. Cow is not smarter than the sheep, but more convenient to operate with. So I get rid of the sheep and bought my first cow. And I never looked back because cows are simply awesome animals, very smart, nice. I have a special breed which is completely white, so the cow looks very clean, nice. In the winter, not really, but mostly.
So how many have you got now?
Like 20. I don't know exactly because you have the small cows.
Calves.
Calves. Thanks. I have calves. I have my breeding bull. His name is Gucci. I'm glad that Gucci. It actually, if you have a breeding animal, every year the name of all these animals in Europe starts with the same letter. So in 2022 everything starts with A. 2023 everything starts with B, etc. And name of my bull is Gucci because that year he was born. All the bulls started with G.
And which year was that?
Well, like 5 years ago. He's very young, and he's from Belgium, because I wanted to, I like, actually, no, I would say the truth. I like his face on the picture. That was the reason I bought him.
Okay, but there's a saying in English, make hay till the sun shines. And you make a lot of hay, right? And that's, I believe, the main kind of economic activity of your farming. So how did that come about?
Well, if you have, when you have cows, you need to have a hay. So I needed to learn how to make hay. Honestly, it looks much easier than it's for real. It's actually very difficult because you have the weather, you have the equipment. Equipment should not fail, and you cannot plan it because you are dependent on the weather. So I say for the great hay you have a fight for it because it's not for free.
And there's a lot of demand for it, right?
Yeah, especially from the horse owners, because horses eat mostly hay, and in Europe, in most countries, actually the farmers don't make a lot of hay like it was in the past, because today you have haylage and other silage and other things, substitutes which are better for the cows. So for horses,
but not very good for horses, right?
Not very good, exactly, because it's full of nutrients, and most horses actually they are leisure animals, so they don't work every day, so they get fat or something like that. Horses loves hay and should get hay. So
you discovered a kind of gap in the market, right? I mean,
exactly. It's niche market, horse hay. Actually, in America, there are very big companies who make hay in small square bales, and they export it all over the world. So I'm trying to do something similar here, and the market, there is a big market for it. Actually, we sell every bale we make.
And who are your customers mostly? I mean, obviously the horse owners, but which horse owners?
Well, for example, most of my customers are racehorse owners, whether they do parkour or anything else, because they are dependent on their horses, and the horses need to be happy, healthy, and so on. And the customers, they need to know that they are giving their horses the best they can.
So to kind of sum it up, you've got several dozen of cows, right? And plus you make hay. And if I may ask, I mean, what sort of percentage of the economic activity is the haymaking, and what sort of percentage is the rest?
Oh, well, I think we make most money on hay. It's like 70%, because this is what we do, and we are. I think we are really good at it. But if you imagine the season, the hay is made only in 2 months a year. So we need some work to do in between, exactly. So we also make some oat for horses as well, but mostly for a company called Emco. They make muesli from it. I approached the owner and told...
You mean cereal? Yeah.
Yeah, cereal. Yeah. Thanks. So I approached the owner, Mr. Jahoda, and in Prague, and I sent him an email and asked, would you like to buy my oat? And he said yes. And since that, we are making oat for Emco as well.
Right. But you had to invest, I believe, some money into the machinery and into the equipment.
Yeah, actually, common people think that farming equipment, actually they have no idea, and I had no idea how much the farming equipment costs. You know, I will say it simply. If you think that Porsche is it's a expensive car, don't start farming. because you know, every piece of equipment that you need maybe 1 or 2 weeks a year costs almost like a Porsche, and you need like 10 pieces of such equipment. Really. Otherwise you will have to work by hand, which don't try it.
You know what I liked when we talked before the interview, you kind of came with this idea that you have to own the whole process, right?
Yeah.
If you can kind of elaborate a little bit about
that. Okay. Imagine there is a thing like a value chain. If you consume any product, there needs to be somebody who develops the product, makes it, takes care about the logistic, sell it, and so on. If you own the whole chain, you make the most money, because you will make the best product because you have a control over every operation. For example, when we deliver hay to our customer, we know how it should be stored into his or her stables in order to be efficient for the customer. Mm-hmm. Because we also have horses. We know how it should be done. And for example, there is I think it's a unique thing in our product. Our bale has 18 kilograms, the weight. The horse needs to eat approximately 9 kilograms of hay every day. So if you buy our bale, you simply remove the strings, take half of the bale, give it to your horse, and you can be sure that the horse will not be fat and will not be hungry. If you use these big round bales, you need to like measure the weight of the hay, which is pain in the ass. So you will not do it, and you will just estimate it. And it's not good for the horse, because one day, I have a lot of hay, and other day, I'm hungry. Not good. Mm-hmm. Not good. So these are small little things that you can work on if you know your customer and you have control over the whole process of developing the product, putting it on the market, all the things.
While normally farmers do the dirtiest work, the most difficult work, and they don't
sell it per they sell it per ton, mm-hmm. which is bad. It's actually how it's called in English. It's commodity. Mm-hmm. Our hay is not a commodity. It's a product.
It's a product. Yeah.
It's a product.
That's a great idea.
You simply have one small bale, 2 days for the horse. Simple. And you can carry it in hand. Imagine stables. These are small buildings. You cannot operate there with a tractor. So if you feed round bales, you need by hand 250 kilograms, like roll it somewhere, then you remove the wrapping, the bale explodes, make a lot of mess. And imagine most of the house owners are women. They don't like mess. They like nice and tidy stables. With our bales, it's always clean stables.
You are listening to Czechast, a podcast in English about all things Czech. I'm the host, Vít Pohanka, and in this episode I'm speaking to Jan Bezděk, a successful Czech businessman and innovative farmer. In the next few minutes he will tell us about his vision, which he calls the platform, and which should combine traditional farming with IT and make it much more efficient.
The platform is something similar to Uber. Before Uber, it was the experience of traveling with a taxi was horrible.
It was expensive.
It was
There were,
expensive.
Like 3 big monopolies in Prague, I think.
Yeah, maybe 4. Doesn't matter. Right now, everybody can be a taxi driver. So there is a big competition, quality is high, availability, it's available everywhere, easy to use, affordable. And this is because of the platforms. You know, the platforms, they make a lot of bad stuff, but also a lot of really great stuff. And for the farmers, this platform could easily it could save them from reporting to the government because the platform will know what fields you have, what jak se to poví, plodiny, tyhle.
Crops.
Yeah, thanks. What crops you have there, and if you need, for example, combine harvester to harvest your crop, you will just open your cell phone, click on the field. You will see the availability of combine harvesters nearby. You pick the right guy. And the guy will get a notification, would you like to harvest this crop? Yes. Okay. Drive here, there, blah, blah, blah. When you finish, you will immediately get the money, which is cool. And it helps everybody to farm better, because in the past, if you buy a plow, you could have it for 50 years and it will not be outdated because it's just a big piece of metal. Right now, all the equipment, it's filled with electronic sensor, GPS and all the things. So it means it's very, very expensive and it will not last as long as the old stuff, old equipment. It means that if you buy this expensive equipment, you want to use it as much as possible because you want to get your investment back.
So if I understand correctly, it's something like economizing and streamlining the use of this very often very expensive farm equipment.
Yes, exactly.
And on a national scale and perhaps European scale.
European scale, because on national scale it doesn't make sense for 2 reasons in the Czech Republic. The first reason is we have some big guys in the farming,
like big farming companies.
Yes,
in agro-businesses.
Yeah, in agro-business. Yeah, and they basically they don't participate on the sharing of the equipment, doing services for other companies than they are holding. But abroad, where you have much smaller farms, and you basically need to share the equipment, and sharing of the equipment is the thing that the platform will offer. And there is another thing that the platform will offer. Imagine that actually farming, it's very financially difficult sector, because you need to buy the seed, you need to plant the seed, fertilize it, spray it, harvest it, then sell it, and then you get the money. So on the start of the season, let's say you spent $1 million to plant and do everything, and you get 1.1 million year after. So you need a lot of free cash. Most farmers don't have free cash because we are not mining gold. We are actually growing grain. So you need to borrow the money for the season. You get a credit from a bank, from a fertilizer seller, and from other, or you don't pay the invoice until you harvest the crop. This happens normally.
So, if I understand correctly, I mean, the way it would work, you could get in touch with some small farmers, I don't know, in Austria or in Germany or in Poland, Slovakia, and share the equipment? Isn't it kind of difficult? I mean,
not really, no? because farming is a very local business. You cannot drive your harvester for 1,000 kilometers.
That's what I meant.
But the platform needs to work on European level, because develop the platform and integrate it with all the things that you absolutely need doesn't make sense on a small market of the Czech Republic. It doesn't make sense.
But it would make it possible to share let's say the equipment, the combine harvester, let's talk about that, with some local farmers.
Yes,
in the area.
Yes, in the area. And actually, especially for combine harvester, it's not a small area, because imagine that the harvest time depends on sea level. The lower you are, the soon is the harvest. So the combine harvester, some of the service providers with combine harvesters, they travel from Slovakia to Moravia to Czech Republic and to Czechia, and to Bohemia and far. So for them it's very convenient and efficient, because in my area you need combine harvester for 2 weeks a year maximum, and because they travel, they use their combine harvesters for 2 months a year, which is much more economical. Most of the combine harvester is not owned by farmers but by banks, and banks needs payment every month, even during the winter. So you need to make a lot of money during the summer. You are rich at the end of the summer, and then you get a poorer every month after that.
One thing that comes to my mind, I mean, haven't somebody come up with this idea, I don't know, in Austria or in Germany already?
Maybe, but
you don't know about it.
I don't know about it, and it will be actually very difficult to build such platform right now, because you need some things to happen in the European Union farming policy, and the thing that needs to change, it's moving from country basis to global European level, which means that there will be no Czech agency for farming, and there will be just one European agency for farming. All the registers like cadastre and so on, all the things need to be
very
centralized.
fragmented.
Yes, it's fragmented.
The whole system is fragmented.
Yeah, but this will end. The fragmentation will end, and this will be the moment where you can launch such platform.
Are you in contact with the state authorities, I don't know, Ministry of Agriculture or the Státní zemědělský intervenční fond, which in English would be the State Agriculture and Intervention Fund, I think?
I am, but not on the right level yet. I'm talking to the big agro guys who have the contacts there, and I'm trying to somehow convince them that this might be a good idea.
This might be the way forward, right?
Yeah, and actually starting next year, I will spend most of my time, besides farming and overseeing my IT company in Prague, on this platform, because it may seem like a technological challenge. I don't think so. The technology is actually easy. It's more political and business challenge.
I can imagine. It's probably difficult to change the way people think.
Yes.
I mean, that's the most difficult thing usually.
Yeah, and how the state agencies operate. I don't think you can change that.
You are listening to Czechast, a podcast in English about all things Czech. I'm the host, Vít Pohanka, and in this episode I'm speaking to Jan Bezděk, a successful Czech businessman and innovative farmer.
So what do we have here? I see some drones. 1, 2, 3, 4 different drones. Can you introduce them briefly?
Of course, this is my fleet. This is the smallest FPV drone.
First person view.
Yeah. You put the goggles on and you see everything what the drone sees. So it's this is actually we use this drone almost every day for like farm scouting, checking the animals and so on, because the drone is small, it's convenient to use, and if you crash into a tree or something, it
doesn't break down.
It doesn't break down.
It's got, kind of special guards for the propellers, etc.
Yeah, and these other
This is a bigger one. Yeah.
Bigger one, yeah. It has a thermal camera and it's completely autonomous. It means that you have a dock for it. It charges the drone, downloads the data, maintains it, and all the things. And this drone is sending us every morning pictures of our fields, of the animals, whether they have water and so on. And it has also one special feature. It has a thermal camera. So it sees the temperature of the surface. And we use it for checking the meadows before we cut the grass to make sure that there is no animal there. Mm-hmm. The third drone, it's a little bit smaller one, but it has a multispectral camera, so it sees the radiation from the infrared and ultraviolet spectrum. You might think, for what good is that? It actually gives you an idea how much how is the health of your crop, because the health can be measured by chlorophyll levels, and the drone sees the chlorophyll levels. So it will tell you, this field needs some fertilizing, or there are some weeds, you need to control them, and so on. And actually the fertilizing and weed control is a thing that is handled by the the biggest drone we have here.
How heavy is it roughly?
It's 45 kilograms when filled with fertilizer or pesticide.
Right. So that would be like over 80, nearly 90 pounds. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want this to crash on your head.
No.
Definitely
don't.
No.
I suppose you need some special training for that, no?
Yeah.
License.
Yeah. You need a license. You need the training, because this is not a toy, basically. And there are some rules. You cannot fly over the big road, of course, over the buildings, because this will end up in your living room. But this drone, for me, it's one of the biggest improvements to farming since, I don't know, tractor was built. Because it's extremely precise. You can fly in the night. You can fly in the rain. We have accuracy 2.5 centimeters. So you don't spray any chemical anywhere else where it should be.
But it's needed, yeah.
Yeah, where it's needed.
It's kind of very precise fertilizing or precise chemical treatment of the crops?
Actually, it's a new thing. So the progress there is very fast. This drone is about 3 years old, and it's now very very outdated. So I might buy a new one very soon, because the newer drone is better, faster, and all that things.
Let me just ask you, if we come back to your haymaking, the main theme of mine, how do you use the drones for haymaking? I mean, I suppose, it's kind of implied in what you just said, but if you can try to elaborate a little bit.
Of course. So basically, before you cut the grass, you need to make sure that there are no animals, because you will cut the animals. You don't want to do that. And then when the grass is drying and it's becoming hay, you need to make sure that you are baling the hay in the right moisture level. If it's too moist, it will mold. It will be useless. And this drone has a thermal camera, and you can estimate the moisture levels remotely by looking at the temperature of the windrow of the raked hay. So this is I love this feature. This year it helped me a lot, because we were cutting several fields with different orientation, south orientation and so on. So I could check during the harvest whether which fields are dry and which are not yet, and where we need to wait until afternoon or something.
Excellent. Yeah. Can you imagine farming without drones?
I can, but I don't want to. This is because imagine, you have 8 people here doing the harvest, and right now somebody will call you. Oh, Theo, there is something wrong on the pasture. The animals are sick, or decided to leave the pasture or something. You just launch the drone, fly there. It flies 80 kilometers per hour, so you can be there in 5 minutes, check, and act accordingly. Mm-hmm. And also, you know, actually, we are farmers. We are improvising every day. And improvising also means that you need to learn from your mistakes. I have a picture of all my fields from almost every day, but definitely every week. So I know the operations I did on the fields. I have the records, and then after the season, during the winter, I can check, learn from my mistakes, and do it better next season.
You're an early adapter, I think, in Czech context. Where did you get information? Where did you learn, which drones to buy?
For me, I like learning, and I say I'm improving. Jak se řekne? To pak povím znova. Postavička.
Character?
Znova. Mm-hmm. I like learning. I'm a quick learner. If I like the stuff, I learn quickly. If I don't like, I never learn. So I have quite a good English. So I read all the materials from the whole world and trying to take the good practices from abroad and bring it here. And also we have in Czech Republic we have excellent academic papers about various stuff. It's for free. You can just learn it, go through it. It's written a little bit in difficult language, but you will get used to it, academic language. I like to try the stuff. I'm glad I have a IT company in Prague. So if I buy something that it's expensive, but I don't use it at the end of the day, it's pity, but that's life.
That's life.
So I have an opportunity to try different stuff.
Excellent. Is there something that I didn't ask about and you would like to tell me in this respect? You would like the listeners to know rather than be telling me?
Subscribe to Amazon Prime and check Clarkson's Farm series. And if you like it, try farming.
I'll definitely do that. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, do it because but it's a series. It's supposed to be fun, but it's quite real. It's quite real. It's the same. I had the same feelings as Jeremy when I started.
Excellent. Luke, you've got a successful business in Prague, IT. Why doing this? Why trying to farm when it's so difficult?
This is actually a tough question. Because I'm mostly rational guy, but this has nothing to do with the rationality. It's actually a very stupid idea, but it makes me happy because you are in touch with the nature. You can you actually form the landscape. And imagine in farming business in Czech Republic, there is about 1% of people in farming, but they have an impact on 60% of our land. So 1% of the people influence basically everything what we see behind the windows. Or the forest, fields, meadows, and good. I like to be this powerful.
Great.
And in the past, when the holidays ended, I always had a little bit depression because the whole summer I was in the office doing business, making money, and there was no time to live my life. And today, I'm looking forward for the snow because I need to rest a little bit. I'm really tired. You don't see it, but I'm really tired.
But happy.
Absolutely happy. I had a burnout 10 years ago. I was visiting psychiater and I was eating pills for the nerves. My back hurt every day. Right now, I'm just fine.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Czechast. I hope you found my conversation with Jan Bezděk as inspiring as I did. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to follow or like Czechast on your favorite podcast platform. And please feel free to leave a comment or write to us with your thoughts and suggestions. Your feedback is always appreciated. I'm Vít Pohanka, your host, and until next time, stay curious and keep exploring. Naslyšenou in Czechast.
Czechast, a podcast in English about all things Czech. Whether you're an English-speaking expat living in Czechia and Slovakia, or a descendant of the Czechs, Moravians and Slovaks who left for a better life in America, Australia, Britain or Canada so long ago that you don't speak the language of the old country, this podcast in English is for you.